Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to it. Today's video is my June TBR. I'm really excited for this month. I have a busy month, a really busy month. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but I've got a really excitable month as well. The beginning of June, I am going away. I'm going on a little venture. I'm going somewhere that I have really wanted to visit for such a long time, and I finally can do it, so I'm excited for that. I am taking part in a really exciting readathon hosted by one of my favourite booktubers, so I'm excited for that. I have buddy reads to do, which I'm excited for, and it's looking like the UK is finally getting summer, because June is looking quite sunny and quite warm, and I am so happy for it. So yeah, let's get straight into the TBR, because there is a lot of books to share with you. So firstly, there is one TBR that is a secret at the moment. I'm not showing you. So it looks like this, and I am going to do a separate video for it, telling you what it's for and showing you the books and what they go against. So I'm not going to show you that just yet, because it's a little bit of a surprise still, but probably in a few days after you see this video for that will be up too. So there's that. Now for the actual TBR, I can share you, it looks like this. I'm not picking it up because it will go everywhere. Now I have counted all of the books together, and I have 37 books to read for this month. Guys, this is my biggest reading month ever.
Oh my god.
37 books. There are 31 days in June, so technically I could read a couple of books in a day. Am I going to do this? I don't know. I honestly don't know. A lot of books are short, so that will be helpful. A lot of books that are on my TBR are fantasy, which again is helpful because I do love it. I am planning to do on every single weekend I'm child free to do 24-48 hours readathons, just so I can bash out the books. It's a busy month, honestly. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm hoping I can. I'm hoping the weather will stay nice and sunny, so then I can just chill in the garden and read, because I love doing that. But let's get into the TBR that I can share with you. I'm going to do the books that are either book clubs or buddy reads, and then I'll do the tour books afterwards. I'm not going to give you any synopsis or anything about them. I have a lot of books to go through, and half of them I can't remember what they're about anyway. But first up is my book club, Escape with Books. A side note, I know June is Pride Month, but for some stupid reason I didn't incorporate it in my book club choices. I decided to just go by what I wrote down in my phone, all of like the books that I was thinking about doing, and just went through all of them, and technically all of July's choices are actually LGBTQI plus representation mostly, and I'm there thinking, why did I not do those choices for June rather than July? But I am reading a lot of Pride books in this month, so but yeah, I stupidly forgot to do it in my book club. I just got so engrossed in doing 4 different other genres, and yeah, it just went. But we are reading The Asylum by Karen Coles. This is 19th century mental health. It is an asylum, so it's a mental health asylum, and basically in this asylum, from what I'm gathering, they do lots of like therapy to try and cure mental health. It can be hypnosis, it can be electric shocking you. This sounds really good. It's based in 1906. It's historical fiction, but from actually really looking into it, it's more of a historical thriller, which I think is why everyone voted for it, because it has a thriller-esque to it. I'm a bit worried about this because the only historical fiction books I read are historical romances. A couple of them have been Bridgerton series, which I absolutely loved, and I did read a couple that weren't from the Bridgerton series and I didn't actually vibe with them. I thought they were a bit boring. So I'm hoping this is good. It's got a lot of mental health representation, which is brilliant because my book club is to do with lots of different representation and you know, making sure we've got diverse reads as well with authors. I'm excited for this, but I'm a little bit worried because I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but it's out of my comfort zone, which I want this book to be, but it has got a thriller side to it, so that might help. But we'll see. I might actually turn around when I do my wrap and say I absolutely love this. But that's for my book club. And then going on alongside with my book club, I do have, which I hope you would know by now, a read along that goes alongside it, which is a Maas-Along. Basically, we're reading all of the books by Sarah J. Maas, just the ones she's written, not the ones she's written with other authors. We're starting with the Throne of Glass series purely because a lot of us have already read ACOTAR and it was a bit too soon to be a reread for us, and a lot of us haven't read Throne of Glass. So we started with Throne of Glass book 1, and it's safe to say I loved it. A couple of others are loving it. Some are feeling it's a bit flat compared to what ACOTAR's like, but I love it, and I've been told from 3 onwards it gets really picked up and a lot better, and I'm there thinking, oh my god, if it gets even better then I'm gonna love this like series even more, because at the moment I'm loving it as it is. But we're reading for June the second book in the series, which is Crown of Midnight. I am so excited to get to this. I'm not gonna lie, I am going to try and read this really soon, even though I have a lot of tall books to read in the beginning of the month, but I just need to know what happens because it ended on a slight cliffhanger in Throne of Glass, and I just really want to know what happens. And I just love Selena and some of the other characters in here. I absolutely can't stand the king, so yeah, I'm really excited for this. And then we have 2 other book clubs that I have decided to participate in again. So it's the Thriller Girls Book Club. I did participate in last month's, which was The Ruins by Scott Smith, am I right? Yeah, Scott Smith. I had to DNF it. I'm sure if you see my May wrap up, you'll see the reason why. But so I didn't actually participate in that one, but for this month's book choice, it really sounded up my street. So I'm very excited for it. And that is The Stranded, or actually no, it's Stranded by Stuart James, and it says, a family trapped, a psychopath on the loose, let the game begin. And basically, I'll give a little synopsis. What could be more innocent than going on holiday? As a family drive along a quiet country lane on their way to the airport, they meet a stranger standing alone in the middle of the road. Steering them along another path, he tells the driver, Ben, that a tree has fallen and there's no way through. But as they make their way across the diverted route, they come across a coach block the road. Getting out of the car, Ben goes to investigate and is horrified to find the passengers tied to their seats. Then a discarded phone starts to ring. If Ben calls the police, everyone on board would die. Let the horrific game begin. This sounds very much like the film, I'm sure it's called Point Break, I might be wrong, probably am wrong. It's got Sandra Bullock in and Keanu Reeves in, and it's to do with the bus, and it has a bomb on, and they can't go a certain, like, they can't go too fast, they can't go too slow, they can't stop, all of that things. I'm sure you all know what I mean, because it's a very iconic movie and it's one of my favourites. But this gives me that vibes. It's not very long. This time round it's actually big writing and it's all in chapters compared to what The Ruins was, which was small and no chapters. It's a short-ish book. It's not very long. It's 289 pages. So, and the fact that this sounds very much my typical thriller book, I think this is going to be done in one sitting. But I'm really excited for this. I really see big predictions for this, so I hope this goes better than last month's book. Then I am taking part again with the Stephen King book club. We read Carrie in May, which I surprisingly loved. I really loved that. I gave it 4 stars, but I really loved it. I can understand why people like Stephen King. Once you get the gist of his writing, it's pretty amazing. So we're reading Salem's Lot. So we're doing it by publication order. I'm quite excited for this. So it is classed as horror, but whether it is or not, I don't know. I just know it's about vampires, and I love vampires, and they don't freak me out. So I am excited to read this, and it looks really good. It's massive writing, which I love even more because Carrie was quite small. Obviously this is a library copy, so I do need to read it quite fast unless I can keep renewing it, which it might work, but depends if other people want it. But I'm so excited for this. It's about vampires, and I love vampires, and I just do not see me not enjoying it. Then on to buddy reads. So first buddy read, so realising in my book club that I hadn't done any books to do with Pride, I wanted to, and this book, I'm going to show you one of them. It's part of the secret TBR, so you will see this again. Basically, I really want to read Heartstopper, so I've got Heartstopper Volume 1. I've already read this, so I'm going to reread this, but I want to get the other volumes 2, 3 and 4. This is my favourite graphic novel ever, and a lot of people were talking about it in my book club, so I said, why don't we do a sideline buddy read and just read the Heartstopper series. And like, I feel a bit alright that some of us have done something towards Pride, because obviously this is a gay romance. So yeah, so we're going to read each volume each week. So I need to get the other 3 volumes, which is, they are quite expensive. They're like just £10 or just under. So yeah, my bank account's gonna hate me, but I do need to buy them. I really want to read the series, but like, we've decided to do it a week long, like each week to do it, even though we all said it'd probably take us a day. But just in case people have got work or other priorities, they've got some little leeway to read. But yeah, I'm really glad to start this as a reread, and also the other books once I get them. It's my favourite. So that's the buddy read with a couple of my book members. I think it's Kaz, Robin, Becca. I think that's it. Maybe someone else, I'm not sure. Sorry if I've missed your name out. Then the next 2 buddy reads, I actually need to double check we're still doing them because I haven't asked. But hopefully we are. If not, then it will make my monthly reads a little bit shorter, but whatever. But first up is The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. This is my TBR veteran. Can you see? It's old. I've had it for ages. I can't even remember what it's about, but I'm hoping to buddy read this with Soph over at Soph's Life Pages. Yeah, that's all I can tell you, because I cannot remember for the life of me what this is about, but I'm excited to read it. I think someone said it's quite a heavy read, but I can't remember what it's about. And then the next buddy read is the Sun Sanatorium by Sarah Pearce. I'm buddy reading this with Hannah at Bound by Crime, my book bestie. Again, I can't remember what this is about. I just know it's a thriller, and I've seen big things about this book. I also impulse bought this because it was £5 as a hardback on Amazon. I thought, I just can't say no to a £5 hardback. Can't remember what it's about, but I've heard pretty decent reviews for this, so hoping to do the buddy read with that. Need to double check it's alright with Hannah. And then we are on to the tour books. Whew, and I'm just going to breeze through them. I'm not going to tell you which tours they are with because I can't remember. I think most of them are for Random Things tours. And the first 3 books that I'm going to share with you are for the 4th of June, and I have no idea how I'm going to read all of these 3 books when I am going away. We'll see. But first up is one I'm really excited for, Cut from the same cloth, which is by Muslim Women on Life in Britain, and it's edited by Sabina Akata. I think I've said that right. This is basically a non-fiction memoir, possibly. I think it's non-fiction. It's or it could be like it's non-fiction. Regardless, it's non-fiction, but it is pretty much about Muslim women living in Britain, and it's sort of answering questions that they get asked so much. So basically it's like, do you wear that at home? Where are you really from? Does he make you wear that? Do you believe in British values? Can I see your hair? Can you be a feminist? Why don't you just take it off? Are you hot in that? Do you wear that in the shower? Are you oppressed? And it says, from a modern pop culture to anti-blackness, faith and family, politics, education, creativity and working life, this anthology gives visibly Muslim women a space to speak. It says, spoiler alert, we won't be answering the usual questions. So yeah, it's an anthology of different Muslim women and their experiences, and like all of these questions that they constantly get asked, that I'm hoping is what they get. I'm excited for this because I will be totally honest, I do not know much about Muslims, especially Muslim women. I don't know their faith nor understand it, and I just think this is going to be a very educational read for me, and something that I can learn from, and then I can expand my knowledge with. I'm so excited for this, and I love the cover. When I look at this cover, I feel like it's not an actual non-fiction book. Like, it looks like a normal fictional book kind of thing, and so that kind of just gives me like, ooh. And as well, this is one of those books that I probably will fly through, maybe. I don't read a lot of non-fiction, I'm going to be honest, but yeah, this needs to be reviewed on the 4th of June, and I honestly don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. Next up is A Public Murder by Antoinette Moses. This is a thriller. Can't particularly remember what the thriller is, but I just love that it's a little note written to me. It says, for Amy, with thanks and all best wishes, Antonia, and it says Norwich 2021. And yeah, it's a thriller. That's all I remember about it, and I'm excited for it. It's a chunky book, but it's really like, the cover's so thick, but it's chunky purely because it's massive big writing. It is a very chunky writing book. If thrillers are done well, I do breeze through them really quickly, so I'm hoping it'll be the same for that, but I'm excited for it, and the cover is very eye-catching. The next one is also for the 4th of June as well, as Public Murder, and it's Summer in the City by Fiona Collins. This is actually an arc. It's not out to the July of this year, so I'm reading it before it comes out. I'm excited for this. This is a story about family, friendship, and facing your fears head on. This romantic and heartwarming novel will stay with you long after you have finished the last page. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be an extremely easy read, and from what I've just flicked through, I think there's different timelines as well. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to just be a simple, easy read, and it's a very, very awesome cover, and it just screams out sunny vibes as well, so I'm excited for this. Then I have Darcy Lane. So this was actually in my May TBR, but purely because the publishers had awful problems with the book. This book didn't get come. Basically, I got an email to say, can I do it in June, because not many people got their books yet, and just as I agreed to it, my book came that day, so I could have probably read it for my May's read, but since she changed all the dates around, I thought, why not? It is literally 128 pages. This won't take me long to read, and I think it's like a middle grade book, possibly. It sounds very middle grade book. I can't remember, but I just love the cover, and it's tiny, so easy, simple read, that one. Then I have Alice Shaken and Definitely Stirred by Paula Smith. This is a romantic comedy. That's all I can give you. It's romance. It's meant to be funny. I liked it purely because of the title and because it's got my daughter's name in it, and I just thought, ooh, I don't know much about it really, but it's quite a chunky book. But I'm hoping if it's a romance and it's funny, I'll probably breeze through it, I hope. And then we have a book that I'm extremely excited for and a little bit nervous, but I'm mostly excited for, and that's The Crossing by Manjeet Mann. This is basically all done in verse, and I have not read any books yet in verse. I've got a few, but I've not read them because verse scares me. But I kind of feel like I'm being silly, because when I actually read my daughter's books, when I look at their books, they are actually done in some sense of verses, because it's always little tiny like text all through it. It's going to be an easy read purely because there's not much like writing in it. It's all done in verse, so it's going to be really quick and simple. And basically it's about two different people, Natalie and Sammy. So Natalie's world is falling apart. She lost her mum and her brother, marches the streets of Dover with a far-right gang. Swimming is her only refuge. Sammy has fled his home and family in Eritrea for the chance of a new life in Europe. Every step he takes is a step into an unknown and welcoming future. A twist of fate bring them together and give them both hope, but is hope enough to mend a broken world? Yeah. It just sounds brilliant, as you can tell from the cover, and I think it's got a lot of representation. I think it's going to be very diverse as well. I'm excited for this, and I think it will be quite easy read purely because it's in verse. So yeah, I'm nervous about it because I've never read a book in verse, but I think it's going to be a good read. Then I've got this one by Susie Steed, which is Stephen from the Inside Out. I love the cover. It's just so bright and beautiful. And this is basically a book about mental health. That's the easiest way I can explain it. It's about mental health. It's sort of about how, yeah, I'm just going to leave it with that. It sounds really good. Again, it's not an overly long book. There's at the back references, so it's all done in chapters, and it's all got like where it's from, what information they got on and all that. And again, it's also got like links to mental health places. So this is how many pages long? 372 pages, so it's doable. I think it's going to be quite a heavy read, but I'm excited to read it. I think it's a very important book to read, so yeah, another one I'm quite keen and excited for. Then I got this little baby, Innocently Guilty by Aisling Bork. Yeah, when a game of truth or dare turns deadly. It is a thriller. Is it a thriller? I think it's a thriller. I'm not sure. Again, I can't remember. I've had this book for a while, but it's a tiny, tiny baby. It is how many pages? 173 pages. So again, this is short and sweet, won't take me long. I'm excited for that. I can't remember what it's about though, so don't hold me on that. Then we've got Fear by Matthew Pearce. This is, I think if I'm correctly, this is a dystopian thriller. Possibly. Can't particularly remember. Love the cover. It sounds really good. It's a long synopsis, so I'm not going to read it out, but when I saw the invite for this, I was like, oh my god, this sounds really good, I need to read it. So hopefully this is a good one. And then the one I'm most excited about, The Maidens by Michaelides. I loved The Silent Patient. I read it in the beginning of 2020 and I loved it. It was one of my favourite thrillers of 2020 and I just loved it. And so when I saw that he's got a new book, I was like, I've got to. I'm so excited to read this. When the invite came out, I was like, yes! So I also got a lovely print which is to do with the book, and it says, we all keep secrets even from ourselves. Basically, The Maidens is a story of love and of grief, of what makes us who we are and what makes us kill. So it's to do with a school. It's also up to do about Greek mythology, and there is the thriller aspect because there's someone who's out there sort of killing. And then I'm just double checking, yeah, then I've got 4 books that are on my Kindle. So first up is Glass Coffin, which again I think is like a dystopian fantasy. No, it's not. I think Glass Coffin is a fantasy. I can't remember unless I actually see it and read it. I got Glass Coffin, I need to read it. It looks cool, I love the cover. I've got The Darkness Within Ourselves, which I've got a feeling it's a horror thriller. Might be wrong. You never know. Then we got Chasing Shadows. That is dystopian. That's the one I got confused with. Chasing Shadows is dystopian. I'm hoping it's a good one. It sounded good and I really like the cover of it, so fingers crossed. And then lastly we've got And Now You're Back, which I'm excited for as well because I do like the author's work, so I think this is going to be a good one. So yeah, that is the 37 books minus the ones I can't show you. It is a busy month, guys. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I really don't. I feel like I probably can because some of the books are short and it will take me like an hour, maybe 2 to read them. We'll see. Come back when I do my June wrap up and we'll see if I can do it. But I will say this. Pop your thoughts in my comments to see how many you think I will bash out, whether I'll do them all or whether I'll completely fail. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on whether I can do this. And on that note, thank you for watching. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out and it's just a lovely thing to see people enjoying my videos and wanting to see more of me. And with that, take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye.